Hey guys, and welcome back to Grace for the Journey. If it's your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have been with us for a while, we're so glad to have you continually joining us. Hope you are loving the episodes, hope you are being blessed, and hope you are sharing. So, today we're going to be talking about something like real. We're going to be talking about burnout. And I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard it. And everything I'm about to say today, you've probably heard it in some form already, but I'm coming from a different angle today. But burnout is real, guys. It's real, and we have to really be intentional to not find ourselves in that state. And if we do, God forbid, to get out of it quickly. So, Women's Intermission just had our spring event, and we had a paint night, and it took effort. So, we had to plan it, we had to get everything. But even for those that decided to attend, I was really reflecting on this after the event. For most of the people that were there, I know they had about a 30-minute drive, right? And some of them were moms. There were some that weren't moms, but they're really heavy in their career. So pretty much these were busy women, busy women. And I don't know if y'all ever decided, you see these memes, like, you plan to go out, and then by the time to go comes, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I just rather just stay in my bed, or I just rather just stay home, and it's just too much work. It's too much energy. I'd hear of like couples that, before they move in together or before they get married, they used to be so excited to dress up to go see each other, but now they get comfortable after the wedding, or they get comfortable after they move in, and it's just like date night just does not exist anymore, or they try to make it at a home date night all the time. Now I know there are some situations where maybe because of age of kids and other circumstances that has to be that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about like when just thinking about the effort to get ready and to go out. And I'm passionate about this because I get it. Like sometimes I'm like, I have to do what? I have to put on makeup. I have to get dressed. Like thinking about that is like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill here, and I'll just deal with it. I'll just get by. I don't care about the change of scenery because it's just too much work. But I thought about these ladies, and I remember being there, and it was so much peace. The theme of it was peaceful possibilities. So that was the expectation. So happy that the expectation was met. But even like speaking to them, they were like, it was just so calming. It was just a reminder to just wind down and to just take a moment for myself. And but it took effort. They had to make sure that they finished their task up to date, probably. Maybe they had to make sure like work was done. It was a Saturday. Maybe they had to do some. I know someone actually said I had to go grocery shopping first and make sure that was done. Someone said to me they had to prep all their kids' clothes for church the next morning. Some had to cook before they came. So it took effort for them to actually get a moment for themselves. And but when they got there and they had that moment and was able to connect with other ladies, and they were able to be refilled and able to just like recharge and not have to deal with the things that are they normally do, and the things that would probably have just stressed them out, and the routine things, it was just so worth it. Even planning and dealing things behind the scenes, just getting there and actually being able to sit and to have a moment myself, like it was worth it. So I say all of that to say it takes effort to beat burnout. It takes an effort. It's so easy, especially as women, to just get caught up in all the things that we have to do to fit into this mold of what life is supposed to look like, and we have to do this and we have to do that and we have to be here and we have to take care of this. And it's so easy to just keep going, to just keep moving with adrenaline and not take a moment for ourselves. Sometimes we feel like it's not worth it, like we're okay, it's just too much energy. Sometimes, mom guilt or just guilt on the whole can step in. But guys, I don't know if you've really experienced burnout. It can damage and affect so much areas of our lives. I just remember a few weeks back, I don't even know what was going on with me. I was emotional. I was like freaking out. I was crying. I was snapping at everybody. I think this went on, I don't know, maybe 3 days. I don't know. Could be even up to a week. I can't even remember right now. My husband looks at me. He's like, I think you need a retreat. I think you need to go on a retreat. So he went. Thank God for his life. He went and he was like, no, you need to go. How much time do you need? 2 days, 2 nights? Okay. So he went and he booked that for me. And I was really grateful for it because I had time to step away from, my normal activity. And at first I felt guilty because I'm like, I haven't even been that busy. I haven't even like, why do I need a retreat? Like, why do I have to do this? But it's because I've been catering and I've been pouring into my family and pouring into everything that I was involved in. But I hadn't been as intentional as I usually am about myself, right? The organization, Women's Intermission, we do put on events 3 to 4 times a year. But even with that, that's more like building community and making sure, you get time to do these activities with other people, but it's still not sustainable for the full year. There has to be something that we are doing daily, weekly, monthly, and that looks different for everybody. But it takes effort. You have to be intentional about it. And it's better to be proactive than to be reactive. But nonetheless, if you find yourself in that state, please act on it right away, right? When you find yourself like not just tired, but saying stuff like, I just don't have the strength to do anything. Like, I can't move. Like, I can't do anything. I can't reach out for help. I can't pray. I can't listen to anything. I just feel tired. Like, that's a very dangerous, very dangerous state to be in. And I've been in that state. I spoken about this before. Being in that state before is actually what helped me birth Women's Intermission. But having said that, one of the things that I didn't do as a mom for a long time, and even like as a special needs mom, I spoke about before, I didn't ask for help. So sometimes we feel like we have to do it our way. We feel like only the way we do it is right. So we don't want to ask anyone for help. And this could be someone outside your home or it could be someone inside your home. Like, I take, for example, for a long time, I used to be so stressed when I leave the house because when I come back, like, I felt like my husband didn't take care of the kids the way I wanted him to take care of the kids. I felt like I cook, but they're just going to go eat fast food. And I was like freaking myself out about this instead of just enjoying my time because I wanted it done a certain way. I wanted the house clean before I left, and I wanted the house clean when I came back. And just stressing out about all these things that really, do they really matter? They matter, but do they really matter for like one day a month, one day every 2 weeks, one day every 2 months, right? And I would find myself not wanting to go and do things because I had so much to do. And he'd be like, I'll take care of it. And I'm like, in my head, you're not actually going to take care of it. And when I come back, I have to take care of it anyway. But I was not taking the time to go get a moment and go get a breather, right? And like I said, it is a daily thing. So whether for you that's meditation, whether that's for you like 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of stretching, whether you're someone who, needs to sit down with your coffee or your tea before everybody wakes up, have that moment to yourself. Like, it literally looks different for everyone. And I'm sure you guys know yourself. You know the thing that helps you to recharge. Do you like to read books? Do you need to just sit down and watch a movie once a week? You know what it is. My point isn't to tell you what to do. My point is to remind you that you have to be intentional about it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's not just going to happen. Whether you're a schedule person, whether you need someone else to remind you. I know someone that books their getaways like at the beginning of the year. They put it in their calendar, and this week. They don't wait to get to the point of desperation and the point of crawling on the ground trying to survive and just being in survival mode, right? They book it ahead of time. And that is something that I've tried to adopt. Sometimes I cancel, but we're working on it anyway. But that's a good way, a good method to have to make sure you don't just fall into this trap and just have to like come out, because it's harder to come out of it. It takes more energy, more work than to just keep sustaining what you already have. And it doesn't have to be expensive, really. It doesn't have to be like you have to go to this grand hotel all the time or go on this grand excursion all the time. It's good. I like those stuff. But if you think about something that you have to do weekly or daily, like there's no way you're doing that every day, right? So it's just a matter of being intentional about remaining in your best state so you can help all of those, whoever you've been called to help, or whatever business you've been called to be a part of, is your own business or whatever your career is. Just being in a state where you can actually think clearly, like there's not brain fog going on every single day. You'll be surprised what a little bit of rest can do. And rest doesn't always mean sleep. This is something that I learned. It just means doing something that you don't normally do. And I battled with that for a bit because my husband would be telling me like he's resting. And I'm like, but you're watching like an action movie that's very loud. How is this resting? But we all rest differently, right? We all rest in different ways. It's just being intentional, planning it, making sure you actually get it done. And I know there's some extreme situations. I spoke to a friend the other day, and they were explaining their situation with their child, and it's like, I don't have anybody. Like I'm just with this child all the time, and I'm really burnt out. And that's where we have to get extremely, extremely, extremely creative. Because there are situations that are actually like that. I'm not trying to be insensitive to that. There's some people who cannot go for the weekend and cannot go as often. But maybe you can find that 15 minutes a day to actually be in quiet, to actually meditate, to actually just sit. Maybe you have to get up a little earlier while they're sleeping. Maybe you have to stay up a little later at night. Maybe you got to put your phone down and get off social media and stop scrolling. Maybe it's turning off your TV a little earlier because I don't know all the science behind it, but there's some science about looking at the light and what's actually going on in your brain. You're not really resting. You need to like turn off all the lights and all that stuff. You guys can look that up. But there is some place you can start, because what I would say, and I would say this from experience, a lot of times we feel like we're caring for this person or caring for these kids or whoever it is, that they need us and we cannot go anywhere. We have to be there for them 24/7. But I'm going to tell you, it's usually the caretakers that experience, either they get sick with something or they die first because they have neglected to take care of themselves. And I would not want that to happen to any of you. I don't want that to happen to me. So like I said, you start where you are. Sometimes you just need a moment of quiet. Sometimes you actually just need a moment of quiet to just be grateful and just to like meditate on the things that are going well, right? But we cannot remain in a state of burnout. We're not good for ourselves. We're no good for ourselves. We're no good for anybody else when we are in that state. So first, what I would say, if you are in that state, just acknowledge it. Just be like, yo, I'm burnt out. Everything annoys me. Everybody annoys me. The people I love around me annoy me. They don't really annoy you. You're just in a particular state that you will get out of. Acknowledge it and take a moment. Take a moment. I don't know what you're going to do, where you're going to sit, walk, whatever. You know yourself. You know what makes you feel better. Take a bath, a shower. Take a moment and actually just breathe. Take a moment and breathe. And then from wherever you are, from whatever you can do, start to plan your recharge moments. Start to plan your retreat. Start to plan your quiet times or whatever it is. Your outing with your girls, your walks. Start to actually be intentional about it and know that it is going to take effort. And when the time comes that you actually need to go, you probably will not want to go because it's going to feel too hard. It's going to feel like, is this even worth it? Like, this is even going to be worth it for me to do all of this and get all prepared and drop these kids by their aunts and then drive all the way back here to meet up with some girls? It'll be worth it. It will be worth it. I promise you, it will be worth it. So be intentional about whatever it is that you're planning to do. And one thing that I find that I struggled with is boundaries. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But sometimes we are burned out because we're doing way too much and we're doing things that nobody ever asked us to do versus what we should be doing. and the energy is getting depleted and depleted because we don't know how to say no. We don't know how to say, no, I'm so sorry, I can't do this, but I can support you this way. I can suggest this person for you, or I can help you pay to get that done, right? Or I just can't. You don't even have to have an explanation. Sometimes no is hard. And I was literally just speaking to somebody about this very recently. Sometimes no, saying no is hard because we don't like to hear no as well, right? So we don't want to hear someone tell us no because we're afraid of being rejected. So we can't say no. And so when we can't say no and we're telling everybody yes, 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 it can burn us out way quicker than we actually should. So know your boundaries. Know your boundaries. Like I said, that's a whole nother topic, so I'll just leave it right there. Know your boundaries. But I want you to think about something. I want you to actually take time to actually think about what makes me feel recharged, what makes me feel better. When I'm really tired, what gives me energy to keep going? Is it actually sleep, or do I just wake up more tired than I was when I went to sleep, right? What is it that I can do that is free or cheap that I can do regularly to keep me in my best state? What can I do to keep me without brain fog? I want you to actually sit down, take time, and think about these things. What can you do? What is it that makes you feel better? And make an action plan. Make an action plan to add these things into your life. It does not have to be extravagant. It does not have to be expensive, but you must beat burnout. There's no way that you can be great for the people around you, the people that you love, the people that you are meant to take care of, the businesses, the career that you're meant to take care of, if you are in a burnt out state. So think about it, get intentional, and actually implement that in your life because we have to beat burnout. Okay, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's been great. See you guys next week.